She finds the waistband of my jeans and starts to slide her hand down. I grab her wrist. Oh my god! Do you know what we're doing today? I can't believe we're doing this. I never thought that this book would see the light of day, but here I am. Here I am because I ran out of YouTube content ideas. So let's just embarrass myself, shall we? So let me tell you a little story. When I was 12, I was really into reading books, specifically YA books. Some of them were good, some of them were not good. So my book addiction lasted for about 4 years, I want to say. And then I got really into watching TV shows, and then I never read again. Because I loved books so much, I was so inspired to create my own. But really, it wasn't my own. Because I had no creativity or imagination, I basically just took the other author's ideas and made it my own. Basically, there was this book that I really liked, Legend by Marilu.
So if you haven't read Legend by Marilu, here's the synopsis from Goodreads.com. What was once the Western United States is now home to the Republic, a nation perpetually at war with its neighbors. Born into an elite family in one of the Republic's wealthier districts, 15-year-old June is a prodigy, being groomed for success in the Republic's highest military circles. Born into the slums, 15-year-old Day is the country's most wanted criminal, but his motives may not be as malicious as they seem. From very different worlds, June and Day have no reason to cross paths until the day June's brother, Mateus, is murdered and Day becomes the prime suspect. Caught in the ultimate game of cat and mouse, Day is in a race for his family's survival, while June seeks to avenge Mateus's death. But in a shocking turn of events, the two uncover the truth of what has really brought them together and the sinister lengths their country will go to keep its secrets.
I also really liked Tangled, the movie. So what did I do? I combined the two. And I wrote a book.
My book was called Incend, as in incendiary, which is defined as designed to cause fires. I actually don't even think that incend is an actual word, but you know what? It doesn't matter. So you know how in Tangled they had that magic glowing flower that was the literal source of Rapunzel's powers? Well, I couldn't just rip that off, so in this book I had a flame, like Prometheus's flame, that had powers. Oh my god, please, when you watch this video, remember that I am like 13, okay? Thank you.
Prologue. The man's breathing was quickened. He was finally here. He was so close to finding it. The fire, the very last fire. So close to saving his wife and their child. He held the water container close to him, as if it was the only thing in the world that actually mattered at the moment. And when he thought about it, he supposed it was true. They lived in Sector 3, the poorest of the 3 sectors of the glorious incendiary states of America. The New Beginning, they called it, burying America's past, the past of the United States where things were nothing close to orderly and perfect. The man watched the cave come closer and closer, slowly, definitely not fast enough. A light mist enveloped him, and he swatted at it in irritation, perhaps thinking that he could possibly do something about the mist that was covering everything. When he finally got to the cave opening, his heart skipped a beat, and he got off his boat and finally dared to open the bottle of water. When he walked within the cave, before him was the fire of the legend. I hate this. Here, my love, I've returned. The man sat down at his wife's bedside, and the sight of her poor state hurt his kind and loving heart. You'll make it. The woman did not want to show her husband how much she was in pain, and she didn't want him to worry. I'm glad you're back. As long as you're here, she laughed weakly. Here, the man offered her the water bottle as if it were made of the world's riches, and she drank. The baby was healthy, a girl with the reddest hair that the man had ever seen. Wow, so red hair, not blonde hair. You know, every time I wrote something when I was little, I would always write white characters, and I would like never consider that I could write someone who looked like me. which is sad because like most of all the YA books that I read were with white people, so then I thought only white people could be in YA novels. She was beautiful. She was alive and healthy, and so was his wife, and that was all that really mattered. A huge crash sounded in the doorway, which jolted the husband and wife awake. Both sat up in their beds, afraid. The wife reached out for the baby, only the baby was already gone. The kidnapper left no trace of themselves, and the couple mourned in sadness. The man offered to have another child just to console his wife, but they both knew that she would not be able to handle another one with the heavenly fire already gone. And 1 year later, in her grief, the man's loving and gentle wife, passed away, leaving him alone to care for himself and taking his ability to love with her. He vowed to find the thief, and he promised himself that the thief would die in his hands. Oh shit, that's dark. For he believed that his beautiful wife would not have passed away if she still had her child. Oh, so he doesn't actually care about the child. And still, after 17 years, nearly 17 years, the man continues to search. Okay, so that was a prologue. That was bad. Obviously, I'm not going to read all of this because this is going to be a really long video if I do. So let's just try to find some juicy scenes that I can pick apart and roast myself for. Okay. This section of the book is introducing the main male protagonist, originally named Harry, and then I named him Ian. Yes, I named him Harry after Harry Styles from One Direction. And then after I got over One Direction, which was around the time that I finished this book, I kind of realized that I didn't like the name Harry. It was kind of an old guy name for like an 18-year-old boy. So I named him Ian because I was like, oh, Ian is a good name. This is first person Ian's perspective. He's like this Aladdin type on the run. Resistance. Part of the resistance. Dystopian world. The government's enemy. So original. I wouldn't even be running if it wasn't for the single loaf of bread. My name is Ian James Stevens. One important thing about me when I think about myself is that I'm a criminal. Well, not necessarily, but still, a criminal. I just finished my test when the bread incident, or at least that's what I call it, happened and I ran away. Back when I was 13, during my test, and they took me to a room, they questioned me about everything, from my favorite color to how I pick my fork up at dinner. They tested me on how far I could throw, how far I could see, all the while with fake smiles plastered onto their faces, the glare of their glasses blinding me. God, the lights were so bright. They questioned me until I didn't know the answers at all, and still at that point, they smiled tightly. And then the test was over. In a flash, I didn't understand the constant questioning and the unnecessary curiosity the professionals had. I didn't know what I got as a final score. I never found out. I tried my best though, because it was my only hope to making a difference in the family. I don't think I'll ever find out. I mean, I can't walk in there and ask for my results. I'm a criminal. Anyways, right after that, you know, I really wish I could say that I wrote this book when I was like 10 so I could excuse the embarrassment, but I wrote this when I think it was 14 actually. Yeah, I finished this book around the time that I was 14, and you know, when I was 13 I also didn't have any exposure to what teenage boys were like, because I was like, I thought boys were gross and none of them wanted to talk to me. There are some kissing scenes that we're gonna get into later and I'm like, I don't even know what kissing feels like. Anyways, right after that, I ran back home, barging through the front door, panting with relief, holding onto the threshold's wall as if I would tumble down and die if I dared to let go. It's over, I kept repeating. I didn't care that my white blonde hair was covering my eyes. Oh my god. Dripping with sweat gained from the run home. It was over, and that is all I cared for. My mother appeared in the doorway, arms extended. Congratulations, was all she said. Okay, so let's get to know Aramia, the main girl character of this book. Okay. Aramia, that's a nice name actually. So she's a Rapunzel type. She is the Prologue man's daughter. She lives on Mars. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so chapter 3, Aramia. She's here. She's here every once in a while, of course. I don't really mind the peace and quiet. It is my duty as a daughter to treat her and tend to her needs. There's only 2 reasons she comes at all. 1, to check if I'm still here. 2, for her annual touch-ups. I keep telling myself that she's here to see me, that she actually cares. I really hope she does. She doesn't try to show it with all her might, unfortunately. She's always worried about me though, and I'm not sure if it can be considered an act of caring and concern for a daughter. Sometimes it's as if I'm her prisoner and she's paranoid that I shall get away, shooting what-if questions at me all the time, as if I would get kidnapped or do the unthinkable, run off. For goodness sake, this spacecraft I live in is chained to the surface of Mars. How would I escape? Who would come here? Who would kidnap me? She tries to convince me that leaving this place would do me no good. I know that, but I can't stop my curiosity. I have to go see for myself. I feel the urge and longing to get to Earth. I must. I have to see. What is it like? What is it like to be free? I turn, silently practicing in my mind of what I would say to her when I asked her. It wouldn't be easy. Before I could think no further than, "Mother, I want to go to Earth." Her voice echoed from 20 feet below. It's only 20 feet? Aramia, blessed by the fire, let down thy hair, for I am here. Why is she talking like it's freaking medieval England? As if on cue, I reach for my hair instantly and attach it to the hook hanging above the window, especially there for this one purpose. Oh my god, man. Like, what's the point of this? What's the point of this? It's literally just tangled. Okay, so basically, from what I've gathered so far, Ian is trying to escape the Earth, go to a different planet. I wonder if it's Mars, the one Aramina's on. So after he gets to Mars, obviously, Aramina's tower is there. So this is Ian. A spacecraft attached to the chain. It may seem that I wasn't the only one who wanted to come and live here, so what else could I do but see what's up there? Despite my injuries, I climb. My arms are shaking and so are my fingers. I wonder why I'm still alive. I just keep going, ignoring all thoughts that come to mind. At last, I reach the entrance. It's a window, but at least it's open. Gathering all the strength I have, I heave myself over and collapse on the floor. Sitting up, I get a good look of about half the room before a cloth comes on my face, forcing me to breathe the chemicals put in the cloth for whatever purpose. Are you kidding me? I try not to breathe, but at last, the need for air is too great, so I suck in air from the holes in the cloth. And my entire body goes limp. Everything goes black for the 3rd time that day. So much for never being captured. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so bad. Chapter 7. Aramina. Oh my lord, I just drugged a person. He should sleep for about an hour. I seriously hope he doesn't die, because if he does, I would have to deal with a corpse. Removing the cloth from his face, I toss it aside as Oliver comes to examine the unfortunate new arrival. It's alright, boy. I got him drugged. He won't come and steal me away like Mother always feared. I then divert my attention from Oliver to the person that's lying helpless in front of me. Oh my god. He's in a white uniform and, judging from my estimation, is 5'9". He has a bruise on his forehead and a cut on his lip, and there's a bloody mess on his thigh. His hands are dirty and covered in blood, which I'm assuming is his own. His hair is a light blonde and is short and casual, but would undoubtedly always fall into his eyes. You know, I think I was trying to channel Ross Lynch. High cheekbones, a strong jawline with a bit of stubble. His lips are slightly parted, showing teeth. There's a name tag on his shirt. Thomas Weatherly. For some reason, he doesn't look like a Thomas. Now, what the hell is he doing here? I wonder as I stand up and rummage around in my drawers for something that would stop his bleeding that would stain my carpet. My fingers roam over tape, paper clips, writing utensils, computer chips, and all sorts of junk before they finally touch the small bottle of ointment that was apparently hidden in the very back. I bring the bottle to my face and read the label before I do anything else. Healing ointment. Apply generously and injuries will be healed in a few hours. Yes, that was the one. I cautiously go back to the person on the floor, and using a clean piece of cloth, I wipe around. Why am I writing this like an instruction manual? I wipe around the inside of the bottle and pull the sticky cloth back out, now covered in some sort of translucent goop. Applying the stuff on his exposed thigh wasn't hard. I redid his bandages and cleaned his hands and face. Under all that, he was actually not that bad looking. I shrugged my shoulders and put everything away. Okay, let's Control F the word kiss, alright? I know that I kiss at some point. Okay, so this is chapter 26, Ian. She is charming. I like how she's different from all those other naive girls. Oh no! Not the whole not like other girls trope. Oh my god, I was such a stupid teenager. I like how she has snappy responses to almost everything I say. That could get really annoying, I think. I like the way she makes me feel comfortable and myself and not so alone. That makes her charming. Not just her looks. Her petite nose and her emerald green eyes, her arched eyebrows, the long eyelashes, her lips, her hair. That burning fiery mass upon her head that she won't ever explain in depth to me. Not just her looks. Her looks are quite charming and beautiful. I'll say that. But it's her that's her. And she's definitely not some vain girl that I made out with a few times just for the fun of it and had no really feelings for. That's what she's not. It's what she is that I care about the most. Oh my god, I hate Ian. And I'll admit, she's charming, but that doesn't mean I fancy her or whatever. Oh my god, fancy? Really? In a dystopian world? In the future? You're still using the word fancy? I like her, I really do, as a friend. For some reason, I think that's going to change. Either for the worse or for the better. Depends on what I think. Later. Despite all my annoying thoughts, things are going pretty normal. Although I probably screwed up big time in front of her. I keep apologizing. Hey, sorry for saying sorry. I'm an idiot. But does it really matter? Does she care that I screwed up at all? Does she even notice I screwed up? I'm going to lose my entire reputation of masculinity if anyone finds out that I'm stressing over a girl and that I'm being self-conscious. I would dismiss it as my own overthinking. Aramina's already all set and packed, but I'm sick of wearing this. It's not comfortable. No wonder protectors would all rather just sit around and eat bagels or donuts or whatever they have all day in their uniforms. It's too uncomfortable to move around in, much less capture criminals in. Okay, so apparently protectors are the police force. I'm just hoping that we won't run into any protectors because that would be quite the cherry on top to this day. I turn the keys in the ignition as Aramina leans back in her seat, comfortable. And we're in the air, flying. Again. She's already gotten her sleep, unlike myself, and she's completely wide awake. I would have asked her to drive if she knew how. Screw being a gentleman, right? Just let the girl drive, hang back and sleep. But the thing is, she has no idea how to drive. And then I have this crazy idea pop into my head. Why don't I just teach her? Why not? It would be fun. Tell you what, I'll teach you how to drive later. What? I turn my head to catch a look of astonishment cross her features. You heard me? I feel as if I'm overusing my smiles. Oh my god. I could kiss you right now. Thanks so much. She beams and her smile lights up her whole entire face. I don't know what's stopping you. I shoot right back, and we both blush at the awkward silence that follows immediately. Ian Stevens, what the hell are you doing? I've asked myself that question a hell of a lot of times already. I still don't have an answer. Is it just my instinct that forces me to flirt with every single girl I get to know? Stupid, 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 stupid. So, Ian's a fuckboy. And apparently, there are still very misogynistic gender roles in the future in a dystopia. I guess since it is a dystopia after all. That makes sense. Anyway, that is romantic banter right there. Aramia, chapter 27. Lord, that wasn't the right thing to say, obviously. One thing I didn't expect was his immediate reply, as if he's used to flirting all the time. I don't know why, but that thought makes me uncomfortable. Why should I care if he flirts for a living or not? If anything, it's not my business at all. Don't you have a girlfriend? I blurt. He laughs, and when I hesitantly look at him, his eyes are twinkling as if hiding something. What makes you think I do? And if I do have one, what makes you think I don't? I don't know, I'm just curious. Thought that you would bother to share some fun facts. Well, for your information, miss, criminals don't have time to flirt and get girlfriends. Liar. Yet here you flirt with me. What makes you think that was flirting? Oh my god, okay. Is this the first kissing scene? Thanks, he shifts a backpack strap against his shoulder as if it's bothering him. But it looks fine and snug against him. What the fuck? We're merely a foot away from each other, and when I spoke, I barely had to whisper. I bite my lower lip when I meet his scrutinizing gaze. I won't back down. No, I won't. I stare back. Although scrutinizing, his gaze is not menacing or taunting or anything like that. It was one of kindness and caring. And apparently also scrutiny. The golden flecks were really brought out in his eyes as they caught the fluorescent lights from above. My heart skips a beat, but my facial expression remains unruffled. And for that I am proud. I don't dare avert my gaze because I know he'll think he won. And I can't have that. Although averting my gaze is the one thing I really want to do at the moment. He steps forward, expression unchanging. I don't dare say anything. The proximity is bothering me, maybe bothering me a bit too much. His hand rises gently to caress my chin. I can tell from his expression of surprise that he didn't think he would actually do that. I'm way too uncomfortable now, and if I don't do anything, then things would get a bit too awkward for my tastes. My mouth goes dry, and I swallow once. I don't think this is supposed to happen when you're kissing someone. With difficulty. If I couldn't even swallow correctly, how was I supposed to? If I couldn't even swallow correctly, how was I supposed to say a word, much less form a sentence to tell him to back away? That I was scared that I would screw this up, that I didn't think I could do it because I've never done it before. I swear, I think my face betrays some sort of fear or awkwardness, but it's either that Ian saw and chose to ignore it or didn't see it at all. This is when I find my voice, when my eyes can't seem to avert, just concentrating on his golden eyes. Oh, golden ones. I don't know, but do you go around and kiss every single girl you meet? My voice doesn't tremble at all, though I'm feeling every inch relieved and still a bit shocked. He backs away, with a look of genuine surprise on his face, as if he couldn't believe that he just did that. The uncomfortable proximity between us is now gone, and my heart slows down to its normal rate as my face regains composure. We should, get going. His voice is gentle, and he betrays no acknowledgement of what just happened, ignoring my question and avoiding my face, looking anywhere but at me. He's crazy. I knew it. I'm traveling with a lunatic that likes to pervert random girls. Maybe I'm crazy for thinking that, but he'll never change my mind. He's crazy, and that's that. What the fuck is happening? Okay, so there was no kiss, but I'm really, like, milking that sexual tension. I mean, at this age, like, I hadn't even had my first kiss yet. I had no idea what it was like to be romantic with someone. Oh my god. So this was my idea. Okay, let's go to the next Control F kiss. I push open the wardrobe door and I step out. We see each other at the same time. I notice his thin figure, the backpack slung over his shoulder, the color of his hair not dyed any longer, and most of all, I notice the expression on his face. It is one of longing and disbelief. Okay, so Ian's lanky. I was really into skinny guys back then. Ian, I whisper, and then I run up to him, fling my arms around his neck, and hug him tight. That's when he bends his head down and presses his lips to mine. Gently, I stiffen in shock for just 1 second, causing him to stop for one split moment, but then I start to kiss him back. I don't care if I'm doing it right or wrong because it doesn't matter. My arms are still wound around his neck and one of his hands have traveled to the small of my back, while the other just caresses my face with the gentleness of what I know I had wanted all along. When we finally break apart, I manage to say, "You came back for me." Of course I did, he smiles, that crooked grin appearing on his face, showing those dimples. How did you know where I was? I didn't, he shrugs. You came all the way to Mars without knowing if I'd be here or not? I asked, disbelieving. How's your family? I asked him abruptly, not caring about whether or not he answers the first question. They're fine, he smiles. You know, I've been wanting to kiss you for a very long time. I roll my eyes mockingly. No kidding, that's perverted. Damn, way to ruin the moment. Actually, I'm actually pretty impressed with that scene. Not gonna lie, it wasn't that bad of a kissing scene. I thought it was gonna be way worse. I think I made Ian die at the end. Okay, so there's this bitch, Lavender. She's trying to get in between them. Alright, let's see. Lavender steps up to me and wraps her arms around my waist, leaning against me. She smells like shit and rose. What? I've missed you. I draw my eyebrows together and feel Aramina's hands loosen and fall away completely. And then I hear footsteps. She's gone back to the car, I think. I hope. But I can't move. I'm too shocked. So I make no move to go after her. You're alive, I say hoarsely. Of course I am, she says, just a little offended. How are you alive? My voice is still hoarse. I have ultimate survival skills, she replies. And then she plants her lips on mine. My immediate reaction is to place both my hands on her shoulders and push her off me. What the hell? She pouts. Aw, you're no fun. I'm leaving, I announce, hoping that Aramina didn't see that kiss. Her hand comes up from behind me and presses against my stomach. She finds the waistband of my jeans and starts to slide her hand down. I grab her wrist. Oh my god! Don't, I clench my teeth. It's the girl in it. She slurs, her accent still there. She's southern. And what if I say it is? I say in a low voice, clenching my fists along with my jaw. What's her name? Lavender asks me, disregarding my question. That's none of your business. Sure it is, she pouts. It's not fair because she knows my name. Did you hear what she said? She was like, Lavender? What the hell? She mimics. I shake my head and start to walk away from her. Ian, she calls after me. What the hell? We haven't seen each other for years and you just walk away? We're not even gonna talk? We don't need to talk, I tell her calmly, walking back to the car. The others are still here, she yells. They've missed you. I stop in my tracks and whirl around. The others? We've recruited a few new members. Most of us from before are still here, she says, picking at her nails. I narrow my eyes and choose to turn around again. I open the car door and step inside, prepared for Aramina's bombardment of questions, still clenching my jaw. I try to relax, but she doesn't have any. She just looks out the window, away from me, away from Lavender, at the ugly black wall in her line of sight. Her hands are clenched tightly on her lap, and she's visibly shaking. I hesitantly reach out a hand to try to comfort her, but she slaps it away when she sees it in her peripheral vision. Look, Era, I'm sorry. That was unexpected. I haven't seen her for years. And that's so important, right? You had to kiss her. No, shit. She kissed me. Right, she says bitterly. Are you jealous? I ask her, smiling just a little. I take this moment to look behind us to see if Lavender is stalking us, but she's nowhere in sight. Jealous? She replies as if unfamiliar with the term. You know, like you can't stand something because of... I know what being jealous is, she replies sharply. Then, I just didn't think that you would ever give me a reason to be, she replies slowly. That's not a reason. Lavender's a hoe, she replies angrily and abruptly, catching me by surprise. She's not a hoe, I say, the word burning on my tongue, making me uncomfortable. So you're defending her now? No, maybe, yes, fine, yes I am, but you need to know her better. She crosses her arms and huffs. I can't believe you just said that. What? I can't believe you just told me to get to know her better. Are you freaking kidding me? Yeah, Ian, are you freaking kidding me? You don't even know her. You've never even exchanged a word with her. I know that she doesn't like me, and that's enough because I don't like her. I saw everything. She emphasizes the everything with great emphasis. That was all her. And you didn't do anything. You just let her kiss you, and you let her drape herself all over you, and you just let her slide her hands down your pants. Okay. So now we're moving on to the first lustful makeout scene. Oh my god. I don't even know, Ian. I pull back to look at him, my eyes narrowed. Are you lying to me? His expression is one of genuine surprise. Why would I be lying to you? Because. Oh, Aramina, he interrupts. There's no because. Are you sure? I purse my lips and raise my eyebrows, still not knowing what to do. Sure as I can ever be, he replies, his voice heavy with what can only be lust. Why does that make him horny? So when he kisses me, I kiss him back. I cup the back of his neck with my hand and pull him towards me. Hey, I do that! Close, closer, not close enough. My other hand runs through his hair, so soft. His hands roam my back, and I can't help but feel a burst of exhilaration. A low growl comes from him, and he traps my lower lip between his teeth and tugs gently. He pulls back, and a strand of hair falls over his forehead, as if mocking his efforts to push it back. He tightens his jaw, his eyes swimming with desire, and for once, I'm afraid. Afraid of him, afraid of what he might do, but my heart aches for him just the same. Oh my god, this is just 50 Shades of Grey. He presses me against the wall. He presses me against the wall hard with his body and kisses me again. His mouth moves to my jawline and he leaves a trail of kisses along the side of my face. Then he moves to my neck and I can't help but arch my back against him. Ian, I whisper. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I think we've seen enough of these kissing scenes. I don't think I finished this book, but at the end I think Harry is supposed to die. I mean, Ian. Okay, I think we've seen enough for today. I think I might actually go through and read everything just to see what I was like thinking. That's pretty much it. What have we learned? I was bad at writing and also horny. I hope you enjoyed. This was severely embarrassing but also somewhat entertaining. Very entertaining actually. So I will see you in the next one and yeah, that's it. Bye!